Fringe is brought to us by the geniuses behind Lost, Alias, and the recent Star Trek movie. Co-creator J.J. Abrams is just the man to let you in on the secrets behind the show.
It is called Fringe because the science is on the fringes, pushing the boundaries of what is possible.
We just try to tell really good stories that we all can identify with, that are metaphors for modern living in a world where technology and science is dangerously out of control. Maybe there's something out there that you don't know that you don't know.
And this show is really a family drama masquerading as a procedural investigative show about crazy science mysteries, where really we're telling a drama about these three people and how they change and grow together and come apart.
The title Fringe comes from the fact that indeed, the characters all, not only they're exploring cases that are fringe, but the fringes of their personalities start to come out.
The thing that's so interesting to me about Fringe is that a lot of the stuff that we deal with, though it's clearly out there and usually pushing the envelope of what's real and what's possible, it's often within some realm of inevitable possibility in terms of science.
All these people, and they don't have a clue how crazy it all really is. The world, everything.
The longer the show goes on, the more we realize that ultimately it's really about our characters. They are the fringe. There's a reason the show is called Fringe, and it's not just the cases we investigate.
One of the most intriguing aspects of the show is the complex and convoluted relationships between the characters.
I think it is very interesting that the relationships drive the show and that the science fiction doesn't. I mean, it's a huge aspect of it, but it's the emotions and the relationships that really drive it. And that they are ever changing, and that they are as mysterious as the science that we're looking at.
In a normal show, they would all be FBI agents, and that would be their job. But on this show, it's not clear who's going to be stable and who's going to want to leave, and the relationships are what keeps them there, not their jobs.
Olivia and Peter's characters have some kind of push-pull thing together.
I think a lot of drama is founded on conflict, and the conflict is will they or won't they, and maybe they will.
If we do get there, it would be a very natural course.
Or they start through one-night stands.
I kind of think, well, what's the place that Olivia should move to realistically? And I know that they're very keen for this sort of, for the Walter, Peter, and Olivia dynamic to become kind of like a family. And I can't help but sort of wonder and wish that Olivia becomes actually the maternal figure to these two little lost boys.
Peter, in season 1, he's never really found his place in the world. And now I think he's really starting to, in his own way, fall in love both with his father and Olivia, if not necessarily romantic love, certainly brotherly, sisterly love.
I always tend to write sort of father-son stories in some form. And it's an odd relief to write for them because Peter is so overtly fed up with Walter, and yet his ability to sort of say what he feels at all times makes him someone that I think a lot of people connect to. That not only is he funny, but it's kind of what we all would like to say to our parent at this moment or the other.
Trust me. No, thank you.
Damn it! Must you always be such a smartass?
They're two sort of oddballs that together, I think, make for really, fun dynamic.
We know he loves Peter. We know he loves Olivia. We just do. And Astrid, I mean, this guy loves them. He just does. You may have found your true calling at last. Working with me.
I certainly hope not.
What Walter is starting to realize is that there is this secret at the core of their relationship that ultimately can just blow apart. All the warmth that they've developed can be gone in a moment.
Olivia and Walter's relationship is sort of, it's sort of slowly bubbling.
You were drugging children.
We were trying to prepare you.
That really gave it made it personal.
What did you do to me?
I can't remember. The reason she's like his is because of what Walter did to her as a little girl. Believing he was doing something good, and maybe he was, but it's still pretty on the nose, isn't it, to inject a little girl with drugs.
It was a really terrible thing, but Walter's so funny that everyone forgets.
Walter Bishop actually experimented on her as a child in order to give her certain perceptive abilities, not ESP necessarily, but to tap certain brain capacities that we all have as children and hopefully keep it going throughout her life.
Astrid has a really important relationship with Walter because she's the one who spends the most time with him. She's come to really love and appreciate him.
What's my name?
Starts with A, yes?
Astrid. He doesn't get her name right very often at all. But when it happens, it's like a small victory.
Astrid?
Astrid. Well, for the longest time, the fun that we would get into is trying to think of new names to call Astrid. These are names that didn't make the cut for network television.
Asterix, get my small bone saw, please.
Astrid. Yeah. And one day, he called me Afro, and everybody on set, stopped and they looked over at me, to see what my response would be. And of course, I thought it was hysterical.
This is it, Asterisk. Astrid. Her name is Astrid.
The three principal characters will all find their redemption. They're all deeply troubled at present. And I think if you get a run at something like this, you can build through to some sort of an arc where they'll find fulfillment, redemption, whatever the term you want to use. It sounds a bit spiritual. But that thing we go for in life, where we finish off our journey and answer some of the questions. I think it'll be a terrific journey. And then they'll ride off into the sunset.
Don't go away, because I'll be back with more secrets on Fringe.
Coming up after the break, bodies.
Stop, don't open it. There might be a body inside.
Bullets.
An explosive charge. Blow your fingers off.
3, 2, 1, go!
And season 2 secrets.
Don't go away. Nina is watching.
Sky One is back on the Vancouver set of Fringe, getting all the inside information on season 2.
Bishop's House of Horrors.
Come into the lab.
Fringe wouldn't be Fringe without the blood, guts, and gore found in every episode. After all, this is the show which investigates some of the most gruesome crimes imaginable.
And action!
This kind of thing often?
Brains? No. Although Dr. Bishop does get particularly excited whenever we do.
The effects are an integral part of the show, but who are the brains behind, the brains?
The stuff you never really see in the behind the scenes is the mess that we leave. And so Mike Fields is over here cleaning up our mess. It's actually made of a highly detailed brain model that was originally designed for the UCLA Medical Center in Los Angeles. So it's down to every lobe and every shape, and it's surgeon approved. So this is actually a cadaver box. Stop, don't open it. There might be a body inside, and yeah, there actually is. We put in all the little hairs individually. We forgot to do the head. No, it's actually supposed to be that way. But each hair is hand punched and, made as realistic as possible. Well, I'll tell you, you can't find his navel because he doesn't have one, but I can't tell you any more than that. For it to be believable, for the story to actually pack a wallop the way you want it to, yeah, you do need to kind of heighten the image and really make the story point, come home. We haven't really found our boundaries yet with Fringe. We're looking.
You hungry? After everything I saw today, no.